I'm going to give you a little bit of a break from speaking so you can get some time to relax before we're talking about your prospect of the week. But Tyler, I'll let you get in there and talk about your guy.
Yeah, my guy this week is Anthony Chavez, first baseman out of Mount Carmel. Now, I know probably talked about him in the fall on this same podcast because I feel like Chavez is really starting to turn into just a big-time performer for our staff. We've long liked him. He's ranked in our 2026 class, and he might have been the best hitter on, well, it's a really talented Mount Carmel team last spring. I know Drew was talking to our future game arms, and a lot of them just kept bringing up kept bringing up Chavi. And listen, he's 6'3", 210, but ran a 707 at our state games, which is really impressive for, a kid that size. So he's clearly, got some athleticism within that frame, but left-handed hitter, can just really hit, I think. Has some real feel to hit. The power's going to come. Don't really need to worry about that right now. That's just going to continue to come as he gets older and continues to mature physically. So, big fan of Chavez. He's going to be, hitting in the heart of what should be one of the better Mount Carmel one of the better lineups in the state over at Mount Carmel this spring. So, excited to see what he does.
And then my uncommitted prospect of the week is shortstop and right-handed pitcher Leighton Gertis from Fieldcrest. He's a 2026, and he's 6'1", 183 pounds. And he just strikes me as like an athlete with some lean strength. And we have him ranked number 121 in the class. On the mound, I think he's a pretty clean and athletic mover, and he's got a really quick arm. We've seen his fastball up to 85. He's got a curveball and a slider and a changeup as well. And then at the plate, he's a right-handed hitter. Max EV at 92.9 miles an hour, and I believe that was at the state games. He's a 7.16 runner. He's at an average bat speed of 71.27 miles an hour. 86 mile an hour across the infield, and defensively, I was just watching the video again this morning, and he's got some actions at shortstop too. So probably a guy that could potentially play two-way at like a JUCO or something like that. But no, Leighton Gertis out of Fieldcrest, he's a name to know that's uncommitted. And then Pete, go ahead and I'll let you get in here, and if you're ready.
Yeah, Leighton's a name that I've actually liked in the past as well, so that's a good shout. But like I said before, I'm going to go with Zolan Wyatt for my uncommitted prospect of the week. The Lane Tech 2026 I had mentioned earlier. The frame's kind of how you draw it up, 6'3", 195. There's some strength there, but there's definitely more to come. Long-levered, right-handed hitter, big juice, up to 103 miles an hour. I'm super excited to see what he can do this spring. And like I mentioned before, pretty loud tools behind the plate. 83 miles an hour for the pot or for the velo, and Fields had mentioned that he was like around 1.9 for the pop time. I know it's not in the profiles yet, but around 1.9, and he is not typically a fast watch, so that's pretty legit for him. And then he was actually a 7.27 runner. And then he's also a 7.27 runner in the 60. So for that size, that's not bad at all, especially for being a catcher as well. It looks like he's a secondary first baseman. So again, not a bad run time for that position profile. But Zolan Wyatt, definitely a name that coaches are going to have to get out and see this spring.
And I'm going to steal a guy that we just saw this weekend, Gavin. Tyson Filial, and I don't know if that's how you pronounce it either, but he's down at O'Fallon. He's a two-way guy. I've long known him as an arm. I've really liked him as an arm. His body looked really physical at the event, and it was upper 80s. With a little feel there, with some secondary that's developing. But what really took me away, and the reason I wanted to bring him up and just kind of throw him a shout out for my player of the week was I thought the bat was pretty real. I didn't know much about him as a hitter. Like I said, I like the arm, but then, man, you factor in the bat. First off, it's going to help O'Fallon, I would think, because they're going to have some arms. It would help fill out their lineup. But he swung it with very repeatable, balanced, fairly easy swing, and it was strong and loud off the bat. So that's going to be my prospect of the week. Tyson Filial. I think it, bodes well. The fact that we were down there this weekend, I want to give somebody from down there a shout out, and also just chatting with him, had a good time kind of talking to him at the event.